Hey guys, my name is Becky Ferrant, and I am been building with doTERRA now for 3 years. Actually, be 3 years in 3 days on October 20th. And I just kind of wanted to share my story. I know many of you guys have gone to Prague. Many of you guys have heard about Allyse Sedivy's training. It's kind of making a buzz in doTERRA right now. And I just wanted to share my experience as I'm someone on Allyse's downline. We started building 3 years ago, and we were on that team that some of you may have heard about that hit diamond in 30 days. So that is my upline, not my direct upline. There's actually one between. So Jenny hit diamond in 30 days. Bonnie, my upline, hit diamond in 5 months, and then I hit diamond in 4 months. So a lot of people who haven't built this way have been like, does this really work? Like, does sampling really work? All of those things. And it does. It works. It worked for me. It's worked for lots of people on my team. And so I kind of want to tell you a little bit about what we did and why we did it. So I like to say that I built in the beginning like ignorance on fire, because I had no previous experience with network marketing. I was a lover of doTERRA for a long time. I loved doTERRA. And to be completely transparent, I did switch teams. So I switched to Allyse's team. I was just a happy customer for 3.5 years and decided I wanted to build with my friends, and so ended up switching teams. So anyways, we did a pre-build strategy with our team. So let me tell you what that looks like. And I've done this probably 3 times total with other people on my team, and it's been really effective. But these are for people who want to run and want to go fast. Both me and my upline, and so basically 3 of us all were replacing a 6-figure income. And so we wanted to do it fast. And so Allyse is great at building fast. And so she told us what we needed to do. And so the thing that I was told to do was, don't have any classes yet, just go and find builders. And so I thought everyone did this. So this is what I did. And so I literally was on the phone 4 to 6 to 8 hours a day, inviting people to join me on this new venture that I was taking part of. So, I would call probably about 10 people, and I would get maybe 2 yeses, or, people would be interested in learning. So it was kind of a little bit of a defeating process, especially when you're first starting and you don't really know what you're doing. You're like, hey, I'm inviting you on this adventure I'm doing with these people that are amazing, who are making money, and all of those kind of things. But I did somehow manage to launch with 9 people. So I'll tell you about that in a second. But basically, here's what I love about that strategy and the way we did it is, first of all, I didn't know any better. So I didn't have any classes. At this point, I was just starting to sample people. So I was sampling for classes that would happen in the future. But really what I was doing is, and this is one of the things that people always say, how did you grow so fast in doTERRA? And one of the things that I always say is that I have always maintained that tension between finding builders and finding customers. And so here's what I mean by that. Most people who are building doTERRA feel very successful, and they feel like they're winning when they have a class, they close people, and people buy a kit. You're like, I want to do that every day. All I need to do is have classes. And that's all that you're going to do, building in doTERRA is very overwhelming. When you have a team around you, it is like momentum, like massive momentum. And so I think when a lot of people, most people start off as sharers, and most people start off just sharing a sample and all of that. So this strategy is obviously a little different, but I think the benefit of it is that I have never gotten out of that concept of, I need to find builders. I need to always have a culture of invite to the business. And I think that's how Allyse's strategy set me up well. So anyways, I launched with 9 builders. So again, we were doing this for a couple of months. So this is like before I was even, signed on the dotted line with doTERRA, before any of these people were signed on the dotted line, we got into like calling people and saying, hey, do you want to do this? Hey, do you want to do this? Hey, do you want to do this? And I know that 80 or 85%, I can't remember the statistic doTERRA says, become a customer before they become a builder. But I was not going for those people. I was going for that rare 10, 15% that would just say yes because they wanted to do something and they wanted to be part of this movement. So anyways, we launched with 9 people. I hit silver that first month. So I enrolled October 20th, and I hit silver that month. And then November, it was like massive amount of classes. Like we were all doing at least 6, 8, 10, like we were all just going after it, because at this point I had 9 people. We were all looking for builders, and we were sampling. So then we had these meetings in November. Allyse actually flew out from the Czech Republic. She came to my house and she did my launch classes. So I got to see firsthand her doing these classes. And literally I was just like, okay, I'm just going to parrot what she does, right? I saw someone that was successful. It made sense to me. And the thing that I love about Allyse, there's lots of things I love about her, but one of the things that she drilled down with us is make your business duplicatable. So here I am. I've been building now for 3 years, and I've never, ever done any other class except an essential oil 101 class. Okay. I shouldn't say that. I tried to do make and takes because that was kind of the rage for a while, and it was an epic fail. So I did that for 1 month, and I was like, yeah, that's not for me. So other than that, I've done essential oil 101 classes every single month, 4 classes a month, every single month for 3 years. And the reason why I did that is because I remember Allyse saying in the very beginning, like, if you teach all these different classes on horses and pets and babies and blah, 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 like your team, there's always a person in the room that has a potential to be a builder, and you're scaring them off by having all these different amazing classes because nobody is you. So my essential oil 101 class is really good. I know how to close, and I've gotten really good at that. Okay. So that is what we've done over and over again. So like I said, I hit diamond in 4 months. I hit blue in 16 months. And I will say I'm like blue, diamond, blue, diamond. I'm in that stage of just really stabilizing it. And a lot of people ask, well, why do you think you hit, and you're not able to go as fast? And I think a lot of it just has to do with mindset. So I'm not going to really get into that today. But here's from someone saying, yes, it works. And Allyse had put some incentives in place. And I know some people in doTERRA are like think that's the worst thing ever. And I understand, like, not everyone is capable of doing that. So you might watch this video and be super frustrated by that. But you know what? It's her money. It's my money. We can do what we want. And so she imparted that in me, and she exploded my business because of her willingness to invest in my business. That I've done the same into my builders when they want to go platinum or they want to go diamond or something like that. I've also done the same thing. So if you're really curious about what we did, I can tell you that strategy if you want to reach out to me or whatever. But this is just basically me telling you, like, a little bit of the pre-build strategy is literally trying to get, especially people who want to go fast, trying to get them into reaching out and trying to find a team first. And the reason why this was so effective is because what happens when you start doing classes is then you have classes, and then you have follow-up, and you have wellness consults, and you have all these other things to distract you. All I had was sampling people and finding builders in the short period of time before anyone knew what I was doing. So it wasn't like everyone knew I was doing doTERRA and they're like, oh, I know why Becky's calling me. It was just fresh. And the way we did it was very, very specific. And so let me tell you about that call. So when I would call and I would ask someone to join me in the business, basically what I would do is I would just be like, hey, I would reach out to them on text or Facebook or something like that and say, hey, I have something really specific I want to talk to you about. Is there any time that you would have Tuesday or Wednesday between 10 and 2? And they'd be like, sure. And 10 o'clock on Tuesday sounds great. What do you want to talk to me about? And then I'd always put like lots of emojis and say, you'll have to find out on Tuesday. So then I would call them up and I would small talk. Hey, how you doing? I haven't talked to you in a while. What's new with the kids? Blah, blah, blah. And then almost immediately they would be like, okay, what do you have to talk to me about? Because, they were so curious. And then I would say, okay, I got to tell you the craziest story. And then I would just really share like why I decided to do this. And at this point, like if you're one of those people that are sitting there and you're a leader, you're executive, I know that this kind of feels a little bit like imposter syndrome, right? Like you're like selling this business when you're struggling and you don't know if you're going to make it and all those things. But here's what I did. I sold my team. Okay. And I don't know if you have a team that you could actually sell, but I'm just telling you again what I did. I sold Allyse's story. I sold my upline story, Jenny hitting, diamond in 30 days. That was the story that I shared, like, because I didn't have a story. I just said, here's this team that is super duper successful and they've asked me to be a part of it. I already love these products and I'm going to do this. Do you want to do this with me? And here's the key to that conversation is I was always, every single time I was going to reach out to somebody, I always thought, what made me think of them? And I would write that down. And on that conversation, I would be like, hey, Julie, the reason I thought of you is because you are, and I would tell her why. I thought of you because you are a connector. Like you have like probably 3 or 4 times connected me with other people that I've become friends with because you're like, oh my gosh, you and her would be great friends. And that's just one of those things that I really appreciate about you. And another thing that I love about you is that you always have time for people. Like no matter when I call you, your kids could be running around and you always take time out to listen to me. And that's something that's really meant a lot to me. And honestly, like I would, as I'm putting my team together, if I could pour my time, energy, and resources into someone, it would be someone like you. So I'm not going to ask you to give me an opinion or an answer now, but would you do me a favor and would you just think and pray about it for a couple days? And maybe it's not for you. And if you get off the phone and you never think about it again, maybe this isn't for you. But if you get off the phone, all of a sudden you're on doTERRA's website and you start looking things up, you know, maybe our paths are aligning for such a time as this. And then they always say, yes, they'll think about it. And 2-3 days later, I call them and just say, hey, okay, you had a chance to talk about with your husband, or you had a chance to think about it. What do you think? And I would just ask that question. I would shut my mouth and let them talk. And then from there, if they decided yes, they want to move forward, that is when we would employ the three-way strategy. And if you aren't familiar with the three-way strategy, it's basically getting on a three-way call with your upline. So I would say, okay, the next step is to get on a three-way call with Bonnie. She's amazing. You're going to love her. And I would edify Bonnie. And then I would connect all three of us. And then we would get on a phone. And I would basically edify Bonnie, edify Julie, and then Julie and Bonnie would talk. I would sit and listen, and Bonnie would then go through the three-way call. And I'm not going to go through that whole strategy. You guys can sign up for dailymentorcalls.com and go through all of those. I'm pretty sure Allyse has it on there. But anyways, the reason why I wanted to get on here is I want to share my story because I never have. But I also wanted to tell you like the basics work. And all I've done over the past 3 years is done that over and over again. I sample, I follow up in 2 days. If they don't have a good experience, I give them another oil. If they have a good experience, I invite them to a class. And then when they come to a class, they're not deciding if they're going to buy, they're deciding what they're going to buy. They buy, I do a wellness consult, I follow up. You know, I ask them to join the business. I ask them to host a class. Like there's all these things where I have maintained that culture of invite to my business. And that's why I am capturing builders, and it's not just about customers. And, you know, I remember Allyse said to me, she said, Becky, there's 2 ways to build this business. You can either add to your business by finding customers, or you can multiply your business by finding builders. And it's up to you. And I'm not super smart, but multiplication sounds way better than adding to me. And so that was what I just blindly followed Allyse and said, I'll do what she did. She's successful at it. I can do what she says. I mean, all the stuff she says, it's not dependent upon Allyse, it's dependent upon me. I can do all those things. And so literally that's what I've done. I've done the 101 class exactly the way she tells to do it. We've done the continuing education. I've literally our team is probably by the book, Allyse's strategy, and we had 3 diamonds, you know, break out. I think 2, I don't know how many diamonds total we had on our team within a year, but it had to probably be at least 5 of us. I can't remember. So again, this strategy is for people who, you know, for everyone. It's not just for people who want to run. I would say the pre-build strategy, where you look for builders first, is probably, you know, and not have classes, is probably for somebody who wants to actually run. But I think the good thing about it, and I would challenge all of you guys to get into this, is have you lost that culture of invite to your business? Because I see it all the time when I'm talking to people from other teams, and you know, I've done some trainings with other teams and things like that. As I hear that all the time, is there's never been a culture of invite to the business. They're just hoping against hope that somebody might say yes to them, and that doesn't work. I've had one person, I think, reach out to me and be like, "Hey, I want to do what you're doing." Everything else has been me reaching out to them and asking them if they wanted to do it. So anyways, hope that's helpful. I hope that was encouraging to you. If you have any questions, you can totally reach out to me, but I just want to share my story and just give a 2 thumbs up for Allyse's strategy and the way she built her business, because it works. So that's all. Bye-bye.